Hey, you got to check out this week's weekly video fishing forecast. We have a preview of the open boat episode this week with Jenie Ackerman. We have reports and events from around the island, including a nearly 13-pounder caught on the South Shore. And we have a preview of the July Glossy edition of the Fisherman magazine.
The ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
New Explore Series fish finders keep you locked on fish with unbeatable clarity, best-in-class imaging options, and a stunning ultra-bright HD screen. There's more to explore, only with Humminbird.
Today is June 26th, and as you can see, we're in the studio here because it is hot as anything outside. But before we came here, we got a chance to chat with Angelo from Blue Marlin Boats at their new location in Lindenhurst.
Yeah, Matt, so this is our all-new marina in Lindenhurst, New York. We have available slips and we have all the new boats here. We've got our Tidewaters, our Defiance fishing boats, every single boat you can think of, all the manufacturers we have, you can find them here. So here we have the Tidewater 232cc. Now all the 232cc models we have are equipped with 300 horsepower Yamahas, and this one's in this beautiful coastal blue. And this one, since it's a CC, it has a fold-down seat in the back. It's a beautiful experience on these Tidewaters. Now you got to see these Defiance boats. You can see each seat has a suspension base, and we have about room for 5 seating in here. We have plenty of windows, enough ventilation on a 100-degree day like today. And in the back we have a giant dance floor, plenty of seating, and plenty of room for fishing and catching the big one. Now this is the 220 Admiral, the 22-footer from Defiance. This one has a 200 horsepower Yamaha on it, plenty of seating, and the suspension seats as well for a nice comfortable ride. Coming on to Blue Marlin Boats in Lindenhurst, New York, our all-new American Venice Marina location, 711 West Montauk Highway. If you're looking to get a new boat, we do take trade-ins, and it's going to be www.bluemarlinboats.net for all information.
Here's what you can expect in the July Glossy print issue of the Fisherman magazine.
The July Glossy edition of the Fisherman magazine is out now. Jim Hutchinson has a breakdown of the management mumbo jumbo. Mike Hatchie has what you need to know if you're planning a trip to the Nantucket Shoals for dinosaur fluke. Going offshore, William Graham has an informative article on safety, strategy, and success. If you're new to tuna fishing, this is a must-read article by Captain Jim Frieda on how to prepare for that first tuna trip. Want to target bluefin tuna? Captain John Raguzzo has his pro tips and advice from his personal obsession. To get all this and more, be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine. When you subscribe, you get 12 glossy print editions, 26 digital editions to your inbox, this past weekend's reports, full access to the website, and more. As a subscriber, you can also be part of the Dreamboat Challenge and win a new Steigercraft powered by Yamaha, and compete for a rigged-out kayak from Yak Attack. Subscribe now.
Now let's head over to the upcoming events from around the island. Starting off, Surf Rats Ball, that's going on right now until June 30th. That's a catch and release striped bass tournament. Then from June 28th to June 29th is the Valley Stream Fishing Weekend. This Sunday is the All-Pro Fishing Duke of Fluke Tournament and Fair. Then we have the Montauk Canyon Challenge. That's from July 11th through July 19th. Then on July 26th is the Bayshore Fish and Hunt Fluke Tournament. For all the details and more events, visit thefisherman.com/events.
At the edge of Long Island, where the ocean meets tradition, Montauk Anglers Club can be your boat's home and your gateway to legendary fishing. Whether you're a pro or just casting your first line, this is where memories are made. Join Montauk Anglers Club, where the catch of the day is just the beginning. Or go to montaukanglersclub.com for more information.
Jenie Ackerman has a preview on her open boat special that premieres this Sunday. Jenny.
Hey guys, Jenny here. I have a real treat of an episode coming for you guys at this week's Open Boat. I'm taking you guys on the beach and we're soaking up the sun and catching some fluke. And we also have some guest stars of this open boat, including dolphins and ospreys and sand fleas. It's a really scenic episode and you get to hear pure excitement as I catch some fluke. So stay tuned this Sunday at 6 p.m. for episode 104 of Open Boat, and I'll catch you guys out there.
Let's get the latest on the Coastal Kayak Clash and Dreamboat Challenge.
It was a slower week in the CKC with just 4 fish making the board, but there were still major changes at the top of the tournament. We had a pair of bonito hit the board. A third place 21.5 incher landed by Dustin Stevens, and a 21 3/4 incher that now holds second place caught by Todd Trions. Mike Radzaszewski had a 23.5 inch fluke, which now holds second in the category. The big fish of the week was a monster 48 3/4 inch striper landed by Tom Hood, which now puts him in the lead for the line sounder category and more. The top of the tourney now looks like this. We have Dustin Stevens in third place with 5 points. Justin Oser falls to second with 7 points, and thanks to Tom's giant striper, he is now in the lead with 7 total points.
Hey kayakers, the Fisherman's Coastal Kayak Clash Contest is back. Win this fully outfitted Hobie Mirage Lynx kayak from Yak Attack along with other great prizes. Catch and release as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. To enter, you must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine, fish from a kayak, and document your catch. Many chances to win great prizes, so get out there on the water now and fish hard. To be part of the action, you must be a subscriber and register at thefisherman.com. Here we go with the Dreamboat update. First, we have Long Island subscriber Joe Lacossi of Ridge, New York, with an 8-pound fluke weighed in at Miller Place Bait and Tackle, putting Joe in third place in the fluke category. Next, we have Jeffrey Harrison, digital subscriber, with his second entry of the contest, with a fluke coming in at 9.65 pounds, weighed in at Fishing Factory 3 in Connecticut. This entry places Jeffrey second in the fluke category. Then there's John Rasulo, a Long Island subscriber from Island Park, New York, with a 2.3-pound porgy weighed in at Bay Park Fishing Station, which places John sixth in the porgy category. Our final entry for the week is from Long Island subscriber Thomas Lucas of Mastic Beach, New York, with a 2.4-pound porgy, which placed him fourth in the porgy division. So we end the week with the leaderboard at 10 points for Rashawn Williams. Jeffrey Harrison has 17 points in second place, and at 19 points, Thomas Luciano is still holding first place. Are you the best angler in the Northeast? Well, now is your chance to prove it. The Fisherman's Dreamboat Contest is back. Win this Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha along with these other great prizes. Fish hard and weigh in as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. What's the catch? You must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine. All it takes is one fish on the board to win a great prize, so however you fish, you have a shot. For all the details and official rules, visit thefisherman.com.
And please do remember to read all the rules and fill out your forms completely. With that being said, our Around the Map segment is brought to you by Marine Mates in Lindenhurst. Starting off on the west end of the island, Owen Carr, he checked in. He told me he had this 23-inch fluke by the Meadowbrook Bridge. He said the fish weighed 3 pounds, 11 ounces. Nice job, Owen. Joe also checked in from the west end. He said this quality fluke was taken on a swing hook fluke ball that he made himself. The color was pink shine, and it was baited with a white gulp grub and a fluke belly as well. Moving on to the South Shore, I mentioned earlier that a big fluke was caught on the South Shore. It was caught by Rosie regular James Seehof. He was fishing on the Rosie on the 5 to 9 trip, and he landed this 31-inch 12.74 pound doormat using a half-ounce pink and blue bucktail in 7 feet of water in Moriches Bay. That was caught a few days ago. Heck of a fish. Nice job, James. Then we have the Great Gun Anglers tournament results. Team Loxy Lady landed a monster 420-pound thresher to take first place. The beauty was over 13 feet overall length and took 2 hours and 20 minutes to bring the fish boat side. Another hour to get it in the boat. Nice job, guys. Take a look at the next upcoming event, Take a Vet Fishing. That's on July 26th. Moving on to the east end, Ed Larson, he caught and released his 45-inch striper on a live eel. That was on the 23rd of this month while fishing aboard the Montauk-based charter boat Trophy Hunter. Also from the same charter, Captain Mike Larson caught and released his 47-inch fish off the boat on the 23rd. Captain Tom from Mystique Charters, he checked in and said the fluking Montauk turned on a ton. It's a mix of large keeper and short fish all being caught. He expects the sea bass season to kick off to a good start as well. Moving on to the North Shore, that's the west end of the North Shore. Elliot, he was fishing Tilden Beach. He was fluking right before dusk and continued right after nightfall. He said he was going for fluke, and this weak fish struck his bucktail combo. It was a nice surprise for him. Strong fight, especially on light tackle. Didn't have a measuring device with me, but he said the fish was probably 17 to 18 inches. Took a quick photo and sent it back for release. And if you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I will try and get it into the weekly video fishing forecast or the magazine. Our meteorologist, Rich Von Ohlen, his weather and fishing report is brought to you by Premium Bucktails. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. We'll check that weekend forecast. You can always check your favorite apps, weather tools, weather sites, whatever you got. This is a general overview, general heads up on the upcoming weekend. And would you believe, last weekend we were doing some fluking around the South Shore reefs and wrecks there in the ocean, and got this big June triggerfish. First time I've ever caught a trigger in the month of June. This one was huge, too. Again, we were just slow drifting the wrecks and rock piles around the reef south of Long Beach and south of the Rockaways. Even a wayward cod showed up. We had so many different species, a potpourri there. Also heard of some thresher sharks being caught pretty good out there. There was some bunker in the ocean, so you may want to try that out. And the Back Bay fluke I was at today, it was pretty good. You know, I had a lot of fish, a lot of nice quality fish now coming into the bay with those water temps coming up. I was reading the upper 70s, close to 80. The ocean temps have jumped to the 70s with the heat we had this week, so we'll see if that brings in some more masses of fish. Hopefully some good news for us. Friday's map, though, doesn't look terrific. It's a breezy east-southeasterly breeze. It's going to be a little bit rough there again in the ocean. The bays, the sound probably okay. The pick of the weekend, probably going to be Saturday. I think we have a little window where it's fairly calm, should be good. Just bring the bug spray. And then back to a little easterly component there, about 10 to 20 on Sunday. And that could chop things up and rough up the ocean yet again. We just can't get a break here, you know. So the swells will be out on Saturday, but I think it's a fishable day. The wind isn't too bad. You can probably get in the ocean, do some stuff there. But Sunday, look out. That wind starts to kick again. The waves start to come up from the east. Again, the east, a little different than what we had seen during the week. Temperatures will be not as hot, 70s to lower 80s, a far cry from the 90s we had seen during the week. Same thing on Sunday. The Wind Guru, one of my go-to sites and apps there. Look at all the colors on Friday. That's an easterly wind all day. It's going to chop up the ocean pretty good, and also the sound. So maybe not the best day to be out there, but I like Saturday. You know, there's not much wind. It's calm. It's not too bad. Things settle a bit at any given time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a chance of a little bit of rain, so bring the rain gear. A little more of an easterly on Sunday, perhaps fishable. Maybe it gets better midday afternoon. And again, a little bit of rain there, so just watch for that. So I don't really like Friday too much in the ocean. Maybe the sound, the bays, and maybe the beach will be okay. Saturday looks good, hardly any breeze for all areas. And then Sunday chops up again with that east wind coming back. You can check my forecast anytime, Weather Express, Long Island. Check that out on Facebook and YouTube. And again, it looks like, not the best weekend after a hot week. Saturday, though, probably the pick if you want to get the boat out in the ocean with less winds. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Catch 'em up. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. Out here up on the north part of Montauk, fishing away. Actually, sea bass is open. My son Pierce just caught himself a nice sea bass. Nice keeper right there, beautiful color. And the other reports, fluking starting to pick up. We're gonna put this baby in the live well. And the striped bass is actually returned on the bucktails and flies this past week. The bluefish had kind of moved in, so it was nice to start getting some bass again and getting them on a more consistent basis. The Vikings still doing their offshore tuna and tile trips. They just left the other day for a couple more days offshore, and I should have some pictures from their last trip. So everybody, the weather's looking good for the weekend. Catch them up, enjoy that sea bass opener, and we will talk to you next week.
From Sag Harbor, Will and Andy.
Thanks, Matt. So I report this week at Sag Harbor, guys. Exciting time of year. Black sea bass season is now kicking in. So hopefully we get some nice keepers for the cooler, for the dinner table. So personally, my favorite fish to eat in our area. And in terms of the bite in the area, the striped bass, while they're still around, they're not quite as plentiful as they were at their peak as the kind of cooler water moves east along with the fish. Fluking has still remained fairly steady again. Starting to slow down with the warmer water in the bay as those fluke move out to Gardner's Bay and out to the ocean, but still some fish to be caught both on artificials and on bait. and still plenty of bluefish around. Porgies are still very plentiful. Weak fish, a little bit hit or miss, but still not too bad fishing, guys. So be sure to get out there, keep those lines tight, and we'll catch you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Striper fishing still kind of challenging in between Shinnecock and Moriches. Not seeing those big bunker pods that we kind of been waiting on. There have been some nice bass to the west that we thought would kind of be in the neighborhood, and that hasn't really developed. So we'll see. Maybe we get lucky. If not, with this warmer weather, definitely going to start to see some sharks on those pods. Also back in the bays, that fluke bite still kind of going on, starting to move out to the ocean. And then we also had the sea bass opener earlier this week, started off very well. Jimmy on the Hampton Lady got into some nice ones on the reef and a few other spots. So, that's another option for your fishing now, but with only a 3 fish bag limit at 16.5 inches, could be a tough one to spend your whole day on chasing that. Some porgies around, just that, summer mixed bag is starting to come together. Tuna bite, there's been a couple of random catches, but that should really develop in the next couple of weeks. Also in the Great Gun Moriches Angler Offshore Tournament last weekend, buddies of mine, the Manhasset Bay Lip Rippers Moriches edition with Rich Schiff, Mike Pryor, Sean Southard, and their sons were out, and they got a 420-pound thresher, 13 feet long. That took the offshore division, and just a great fish. I believe they were about 10 miles out, a little closer to Shinnecock than Moriches. So there is some bait, there is some life out there, just not enclosed for the bass. But looks like the offshore scene is really going to start kind of really coming together. Decent amount of threshers were caught over the weekend, so those around, if it's something you're looking to target. All right, that's it. Get out there and fish this weekend. Stay cool. I'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, Captain Al is back. What do you got for us?
Hey, Matt. Fire Island report. Captain Al is back. Not 100%, but back most part able to fish again. Fishing news, not good. There's a lot of fluke around, but just a lot of shorts. People fishing the state channel, that was good a few weeks ago. Now it's kind of petered out. I got to go out on my boat with my buddy Donald LaSalle. We caught a few fish, all of them short. I mean, like 12-inch short. Other than that, I mean, what's there now to fish for? So you got to search around, see what you can find. A couple of striped bass around, a couple of weak fish. That's early morning, quiet area stuff. So, bass on plugs, on the rips, and that's it. So anyway, we'll get back to you next week, and hopefully the fishing gets a little better.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
With our fly and freshwater report, we do have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, here we are on another adventure with River Bay Outfitters. But here's the problem. The plan was we were all going to come up here and we're going to float the Delaware. We all had these personal boats and everything. But Mother Nature had other plans for us, because on the way up, torrential downpours, torrential, blew out the west branch of the Delaware, blew out the Beaverkill, the east branch, the Willow, partially the Willow. It just was crazy, crazy fishing. You got the choices. You either go home or you make lemonade out of lemons. What happened was, so what the good news, the bad news was I couldn't float. The good news is I actually learned some areas that I have never fished before. I've never fished up around Margaretville. That's all the upper east branch. And you know what? It was clear. The fishing was a little tough. I did catch a couple of small fish. I also hooked into a big carp, nymphing. Not a lot of success on a 3-weight. This carp was close to 2 feet long. But it was a great fight, a great day, and beautiful area. Beautiful. I didn't know. Now, I'm here on the upper Willamette. When you get high water, you go to the headwaters, and that's what I am. These are high, but clear, and it's all brook trout fishing, and nothing big. We're talking 6-7 inches wild brookies, but we're going to have a great time. As far as the Long Island, well, there again, heat spell, man. It is brutally hot. It's brutally hot up here. It's brutally hot down home, and what's happening is you really got to fish early in the morning or late in the day. Fresh salt, same thing. Early in the day, before sunrise, false dawn, and late fish into the night. It's just going to warm up very fast. But it will also raise it up because the water in the back base was kind of warm for this time of year. So hopefully it'll spark the fluke and the bait moving around. So hopefully this week I will be there trying to get some of those stripers, but we'll see. As far as the Kayak goes, there again, they did a weed pull, so now it's really fishing well. They had a great time. Calum, I believe his name is, a 5-year-old was out with his father, and he had a great time. They did very well out there. It's good to see really young people out there. Hey, when you got lemons, make lemonade. Guys who wanted to go home. I was like, don't go home. There's always opportunities, always. And explore. You're going to learn new spots. So until next week, tie lines, everybody.
Let's check in with Chris Landry.
Thanks, Matt. Out in Breezy Point, we've had sustained bluefish, bird blitzes, all outgoing tides pushing the bait out. Lots of bait. They're on silver sides, cocktail blues, a few gator blues in the mix. Not too many stripers. Also, we've been crushing the threshers. So got the Bernie's custom rod to reel in these threshers, 70 wides. They're big, 250 to 400 pound threshers. They're out there. There's lots of life, lots of bunker. Tuna shouldn't be far behind. We are going to be doing tuna trips, yellowfin tuna at the canyons and a little bit closer in. But right now, plenty of bluefish to be had, bass in the harbor. Threshers are out there. Hit us up for a thresher trip and everything else. All right, look at this craziness every day, all week, outgoing tide. All right.
From the Western Sound, we have Nuno Decosta from Tyalurs Tackle up in Rye.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Nuno here from Tyalurs. Offshore has popped off from the bluefin, yellowfin, big eyes out there. Things are really starting to go on the offshore scene. From the canyons to the inshore grounds, it looks like the trolling, jig, and pop bite is on. I mean, we are nearing July, so the water is absolutely warming up there. We have the wrap systems, the pipe, giving you leverage on the rail there if you need it, guys. Anyway, on the inshore scene, striped bass fishing still remains hot, guys. I know the weather turned really warm, but the fishing is still red hot. If you could get your hands on live bunker, that is premium, or live spots, that's been the key. But the guys with the heat decided to troll to get a little breeze going, and they still produce very, very well. As far as the local scene, the porgy bite has absolutely improved with some local weak fish being caught here at Playland and other areas nearby. So guys, get your clam spearing bait. It's absolutely working out there. We are fully loaded, open every day from 7 to 7, both your inshore and offshore needs. Come check us out, guys, Tyalurs.com.
Rob Greco of the Long Island Outdoorsman checks in from Rockville Center.
Hello, Fisherman readers. This is Robert from Long Island Outdoorsman giving you this week's and last week's fishing report because I ran a little behind, so I didn't get last week's report in. My good friend Martin Wenk had a 6-pounder in the bay, South Shore, Long Island, and there's been some other keepers being caught. I had a 19, so still keepers in the bay. As far as this week's report goes, oh, by the way, Martin released that 6-pound fish, which was kind of cool. Let him grow. some good karma, hopefully for the next 10-pounder. So anyway, this week's report, kind of the same as last week, except we got some pretty bad heat this week. It's been a little rough, but there's still, keeper fluke in the bay. But what is interesting is we're noticing the reefs are starting to perk up a little bit. So my dad was out. He had a keeper sea bass. Our employee Mark was out with his wife, and they had some keeper sea bass. Atlantic Beach Reef and some of the other reefs are starting to really pick up. So also on the shark report, guys are reporting threshers. Once again, our employee Mark had a thresher on for about an hour a couple days ago. Ended up losing it boat side, but some other guys were lucky enough to land some threshers, so they are out there, and things are looking like they're picking up with the tuna as well. It's not wide open yet, but we are hearing some increasing reports of tuna. Okay, so thank you, and back to you.
Raul Ortiz, the urban angler, has a report from around the city.
Hey guys, Raul Ortiz here, the urban angler, with my report. Well, fishing was hot for the last few weeks, and it looks like now things are starting to die down. Anyway, on the Hudson River, guys, you can still catch striped bass from schoolie size to 20 plus pounds. Same thing goes for around the 5 boroughs. And in the Long Island Sound, you can still catch anything from schoolie size, depending what part of the sound you're on, you can probably catch fish up to 30 pounds plus. On the South Shore beaches of Long Island, we had a nice run of fish last week. A lot of fish in the 40-pound class range. And now things are looking like things are starting to trickle down. I would say if you do want to continue to catch these striped bass, your best bet is to fish far out east. I did go out around the Great South Bay. There's still plenty of fish around. My biggest fish was probably around slot size, maybe 30, 32 inch. Nothing crazy. Went out for a few hours and got a few. I did fish the beaches once or twice. We caught probably some schoolie sized fish, but I did see some people catch some 40 pounders and fish anywhere from schoolie size to 40 plus pounds. It was definitely a good week last week, but with this heat wave, it looks like the fish have moved on. Anyway, I just want to let everyone know this is going to be my last report until the fall. And, I wish you all the best. Have a great summer and enjoy your time with your family and friends. That's what it's all about. And if you want to catch anything, guys, just put in that time and you'll still get some fish. Anyway, that's it for me. Tight lines to everyone. Enjoy your summer. And back to you, man. Tight lines.
From Breezy Point, we have Cal.
What's up, y'all? Reporting from Fishing the Atlantic. This week, what we got going on? We're here right now reporting live from the Gypsy Party Boat located at a Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn. And, we wanted to put some more volume fishing. We actually have a private club charter today, and we're actually out by AB Reef right now. The fishing is pretty good. We got a lot of keepers on the boat, and I got a surprise. One lucky angler has a ling. And yours truly did pick up a local cod at the reef as well. So we had a codfish. We're working our way towards a full limit of fluke. So if you want to get some volume fishing and get some, larger amount of fluke, I suggest hitting a party boat. The Gypsy's been doing fantastic, and so have the other party boats in Sheepshead Bay, like the Ocean Eagle and Maryland Jean. But yeah, that's what's going on this week. And shout out to Artem. Caught a very nice sheepshead. So right now, that's what it's all about. We got a mix of fish. We got sheepshead, we got ling, we got fluke, we got stripers still around, and we got bluefish still. So, and the porgies are here, and the weakfish. So lots going on. It's the summertime. Get on out. Back to you, Matt.
Don't forget this video is available as a podcast on Google Music. Search for the Fisherman Magazine podcast and subscribe so you can listen to this broadcast and our other content. Well, there you have it, everybody. That is our weekly video fishing forecast for the week. It's a hot one out there today. It was a hot one the past few days as well. Hope you guys are staying cool and hydrated out there on the water. Remember, if it is a hot day out there, bring extra water. be in the shade, try and get some shade. But remember, the fishing is hot. There's a ton of bass around, especially on the east end of the island. Fluke fishing is picking up. As you can see, there's some really big fish being caught on the south shore. That's our second week in a row with a double-digit fish caught on the south shore of the island. Montauk is on fire as well. Fishing is going to remain hot. The weather's going to cool down a little bit, which is going to make it more comfortable to get out there and fish. Get out there this weekend. Have a great time, and we will see you next week.